to the third video of session 8 of International Rail Transport module. At this stage, we would talk about packing groups. Some substances and articles are assigned to one of three packing groups in accordance with the degree of danger they represent. So there are three packing groups, and they are grouped according to the degree of danger they represent. The first packing group is I. Remember, it's a Roman numeral I. I in red stands for high danger. I represents high danger packing group. II represents medium danger, and it's colored yellow. Numeral III represents low danger, and it's in green color. It doesn't mean it's not dangerous. They are all dangerous, but here they are grouped according to the degree of danger. So we have the red I group, packing group I, that represents high danger. Packing group II represents medium danger, and packing group III represents low danger. In your dangerous goods model, you would have more detailed information as to how you determine the substance, the group to which the substance has to, which packing group a substance or an article will belong to. It will depend on the type of the dangerous goods, and your DG module would give you further explanation as to how it is determined. At this stage, it is not part of this module. Remember, packing is a responsibility for a shipper, and quite often shippers are represented by freight forwarders. So in order to know how to pack dangerous goods, you must understand all these three packing groups so that you can pack the DG according to the degree of danger they represent. That requires more time and a deeper explanation. So it is not part of this module, as I've earlier stated. Here, I only want to highlight the fact that packing is not done just haphazardly, but packing has to be done appropriately according to the degree of danger that the dangerous goods represent. And we have three of them. Once goods are packed into the appropriate packaging, the packaging requires markings, and the markings include the United Nations Substance Identification Number, the proper shipping name, the shipper's name and address, the United Nations number, which I've indicated earlier on, and also the consignee's name and address. And you also need to mark packages with UN specification markings. So these are what you mark on packages. United Nations identification number, there are 4-digit code, the proper shipping name, the shipper's name and the shipper's address, the consignee's name and the consignee's address, and then United Nations specification markings. These are what are indicated here on this slide. So this is what marking is about. Nothing should be left out. In the marking, the languages to be used must include English. This means if you use any other language, for instance, under CIM contract of carriage, 3 languages can be used: English, French, and German. In case you use German or French to do the marking, then you must add English. So in addition to the language which may be required by any state of origin, English should be used. So you can have the marking in another language, but there should be English. It should be translated into English as well. This is a universal agreement. And if it's under SG or SMGS, Russian language and Chinese languages, those 2 languages are allowed. So if in case the markings are made in Chinese or Russian, then you need to add English to it. That is the requirement for marking. So a typical United Nations package marking will look like what is on this screen. It must have, the package must have proper shipping name, which is stated here, acetone. It must have United Nations substance identification number. Here it is UN 1090. It must have shipper's name and address, and also consignee's name and address. And at the bottom, the package marking should include United Nations specification marking. These markings, I believe your facilitator for dangerous goods will take you through it so that you know how to react. I repeat, UN package markings. A typical package for the transport of dangerous goods, they look like this. It must have markings that would include proper shipping names, and here it's acetone. It must have United Nations substance identification number. Here the arrow points to UN 1090. The package must have shipper's name and address. The package must also have consignee's name and address. And then lastly, the package must have United Nations specification code, which is at the bottom. And I believe in your dangerous goods module, you will be taught how to decipher the UN specification. This package must also have the appropriate label pasted on it. It would also have orientation labels on it, which is a handling label, and any other labels that may be required. And these markings will be on, say, the front side and the other side, so it can be easily identified. In this packaging, what I'm referring to as hazard label, here it is class 3 flammable, and you see class 3 on it, and you also see corrosive class 8 at the bottom. It means the package contains 2 classes of dangerous goods, class 3 and class 8. And the handling labels are there for you to know how it should be kept. And on this, you will see the United Nations substance identification number of the 2 different classes clearly marked on the package. It also should have shipper's name and address, consignee name and address. And this is for overpacks. The word overpack replaces United Nations identification number. If this is how overpack packages are done. The first one you look at are just ordinary UN packages. These are overpack packages, and I believe you would be taught what are overpacks in dangerous goods package. A typical United Nations combination package will look like what is stated here. Here you see the different markings on it, and it's a combination package because it's a package that has either single packaging, packed together in a package, a second package, and this is what combination package would look like. This slide shows UN single packaging, that is solid. This is a barrel, steel drum in black color with a lid at the top, and this is one of the packages that are used to transport dangerous goods, and it may have, in this way, it would have a solid in it, and I do not want to complicate the markings on it. The UN specification marking determines what is in, and when you do DG, that will be clearly explained to you. I do not want to take too much time doing it here. And this is single packaging for liquid. The UN specification mark would distinguish between the markings if it's liquid and if it's solid. Here, because it's liquid, the maximum density permitted is stated there, and the maximum test pressure is stated there. If it's solid, it is the maximum weight that the package would hold, which would be stated. This slide shows special markings requirement for environmentally hazardous substance. I believe you have seen many of this, either at the ports or in town. These are still steel drums, but they have labels that makes you identify that they carry dangerous goods. The object here is just to show you different examples of packagings. These are steel drums. It's one of the packagings used in the transport of dangerous goods. It may contain liquid or solid. And the other packaging at the back, the IBC, may also contain liquid, and it should have the appropriate labels on it. I believe by now you've seen different packagings used for the transport of dangerous goods. You would have, you would come across, or you'll be shown as many as possible when you cover the dangerous goods module itself. So this brings us to the end of the safe transport of dangerous goods by international rail transport.